as well that you would look on the country of Israel. So they're dealing with the aftermath of a heinous attack. We pray for safety and resolution. Just give your guidance there. Keep us in this meeting. Let everything be done decently and in order. It's in Jesus' name we ask. Amen.
Amen. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Councilwoman at Large, for leading us in the pledge. Our next item is the reading and approval of the minutes from our September 25th, 2023 meeting.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of September 25th, 2023, and that they be approved with no corrections.
Second.
Okay. Motion has been made and seconded. Any comment? Okay, seeing none. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Before we go any farther, we do have two of our councilmen, obviously we see who are not here today. So we have three, which does give us a quorum. But please take a moment to silence your cell phones during this meeting. The City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. We'll have Steve working the clock for us. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on a particular item and there's not anything, really new to add. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. The speakers shall address the agenda topic only to which they are speaking on and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. Thank you for adhering to these guidelines. All right, next we've got special guest. Is Ms. Liz Todd here? All right, will you come forward, please? And as we said, just state your first and last name and share with us what you want to share. And this is the Restore Louisiana Business Loan Program.
Yes, sir. My name is Liz Todd. I'm an intake coordinator for South Central Planning and Development Commission. And I am here today to get the word out about the Small Business Loan Program that's funded by HUD. HUD has earmarked $50 million for those parishes that were impacted by Hurricanes Laura or Delta. And I understand Natchitoches was hit by Laura in particular. I think it was a Cat 2 when it came over. So there was a lot of downed timber and businesses that lost power, et cetera. So I want to talk now about the eligibility to get in on this small business loan. First, the business has to have 1 to 50 full-time employees, 35 hours a week. They have to be open at the time of the disaster and still operating, but if they closed because of the disaster, then they would be, the funds would be eligible to reopen that business. So that's a really good deal. They have to have had a minimum of $25,000 in annual gross revenues before the disaster event. They have to have experienced either a 20% decline in annual gross revenues or a minimum of $10,000 in physical loss, like, the roof or water damage. And I want to revisit the 20% decline because you'll recall that Laura and Delta came through our area in 2020, and that was at the height of the COVID. So it's not a hard stretch for some businesses to establish that 20% revenue decline. So what can the loans be used for? They can be used for 6 months of documented working capital expenses, which include monthly rent or mortgage, non-owner employee wages and benefits. So this is going to help with job retention and possibly even adding to your business. Monthly utilities, gas, water, electric, internet, and inventory. The second component is that it can be used for movable equipment and furniture, whatever the cost to replace the equipment or furniture that was lost during the storm, or the repairment cost. And the really, really nice thing about it, which is unusual, is it can be used to add new equipment to a business that might make them more viable in a post-storm environment. So that's a really cool component of the program. And last but not least, I want to talk about the award structure and the loan terms. The loan values are going to be between $10,000 to $150,000 on up to $250,000 if there's a lot of loss. The interest rate is 0, and so in an 8% interest rate environment, this is huge. 60% of the loan will be amortized over a 7-year period following a 6-month period of no principal repayment. And the loan is structured at 60% repayable and 40% forgiveness. So if your applicant is compliant with the loan terms at the end of the loan, they're forgiven 40%. I think that's a really great deal. There's a lot of money on the table, and I'm trying to get the word out and implore the councilman here to get the word out to the small businesses that might benefit from this excellent program. Are there any questions or comments?
It really sounds great.
It is.
So they would have just say a payment of what they could pay like per month.
Exactly.
But if they pay it before that, I think you said 7 years?
7 years. There's no
Then
penalty, as
penalty.
I understand it, for, pay, but they don't want them to pay it back within that first 6-month period.
Right, I understand.
So, yeah, so you borrow $100,000, it's 60,000's amortized, and they come up with a prepayment schedule or payment schedule, and then 40% forgiveness.
Forgiven. Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
so that's great.
Hey, Ms. Todd?
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm sorry. How many applications in this area so far?
None that oh wait, I take that back. I'm only aware of one, but I've worked the Lafayette, Louisiana area. I'm just visiting here today.
Okay.
We do, this is real important too. There is a physical office in Alexandria, so we can meet your applicants, and Liz Todd would welcome any excuse to come back to Natchitoches, Louisiana, so I would be willing to help with any applicants that come my way. And I'm gonna, so there's a lot of money on the table. Unfortunately, people have short memories, and Louisiana's are so resilient that most of the people have recovered, and they forget that they lost money during that time. So we just have to tickle the memory and say this is an opportunity for you not only to restore your business, but to grow it.
Is there a deadline to apply?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for asking that. It's December 31st, so time is of the essence. But like most government programs, it could possibly be extended, yeah. But we still want to push it before everyone forgets how well they've recovered.
Well, thank you for the
Okay.
information.
And I'm going to give you all some brochures, if that's okay.
No, that's great.
And any more questions?
Anyone from the audience?
Any from the audience? Oh, yeah, I do. Yes, ma'am. Here we go. And then I'll give. Thank you all so much for your, thank you all so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. I love Natchitoches.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay, good deal. No, that makes sense. All right, again, thanks a lot for coming with us today, Ms. Todd. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, next, we want to recognize one of our Employee of the Month, Mr. Tyrone LaCour. And I was excited to see him come through the door. I didn't know he was going to come. He's a hard-working man in many different aspects. So I know you probably don't want to address us, do you? Okay. But Matt, you could tell us. We took a picture last week, and what we've done, we want to get back to, and you see the picture here, we want to get back to. That's Jennifer Bromley on the left for council, just to know, replace Sarah Oob. And then that Tim Tusek, he's
the water sewer superintendent.
Water and Sewer Superintendent, and of course, Mr. Tyrone LaCour, myself, and then Matt Anderson, Utility Director. So Matt, just kind of give us a little bit.
I just want to say
Have him
to
stand
Tyrone,
up.
well-deserved. Tyrone is not only a great worker, employee, but a great person also. And I know we got a letter on behalf of Tyrone from a citizen just explaining how helpful he was in a situation she had, and just much deserved.
Yep.
Yes.
So we do appreciate it. And we just want to, again, recognize on it. Yeah, come on. Tyrone, let's get a picture, man. I know we already got one. This one's going to hit the drum. Come on, Matt. Come on, we'll take a picture of him. Yeah, this one's going to hit the drum.
Good.
Now, we already gave him his, he got a little Yeti, he got a little certificate. And again, we just appreciate the work he's doing. Okay. Thanks, man. Are we sitting pretty good, Kevin?
Yeah, you're fine. Shake his hand again.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for your work, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised Tyrone came. We were just expecting to give him recognition. But going forward, we want to have the City of Natchitoches Yeti Cup and have the certificate here to kind of give it more publicity, just to show our employees that we do appreciate the work that they're doing on behalf of our residents. All right, next, council, and excuse me, you don't see it on the agenda, but at the last meeting, we had Mr. Darrell Street who came, and we've got him here today, and want to hear his presentation about, planting some trees and things like that. It's done in some other communities, and we want to hear what he has to say. So please, sir, state your first and last name, and you can get into your presentation.
First name is Darrell. Last name is Street. I'm with Tigua Urban Forestry Consultant, LLC, located in Simsboro, Louisiana. The PowerPoint I constructed it earlier today the format is looking like it's a little off, but we're here today. My purpose here today is to introduce a tree equity score analyzer, which is developed by American Forest. I don't know if you're familiar with American Forest, but American Forest is one of our leading tree planting.
Okay.
There's my website right there. You can for more information about me. But American Forest is founded in 1875. It has been one of the pathfinders for creating healthy forests from coast to coast. Our main focus is on addressing tree inequities in communities where would sometimes not get the attention of trees because of prioritizing resources and things of that nature. We are funded this program by Weyerhaeuser. So the funding is coming from Weyerhaeuser. The city of Natchitoches would have to absolutely pay nothing for these trees. Again, some of the things that American Forest does, we are resilient forest. We plant trees all across the country. We write policy. We're in D.C. doing things as it relates to how policies would move as it relates to trees. And one of the things that we're doing here in the city of Natchitoches, again, is the Tree Equity Score Analyzer. And so what is the Tree Score Analyzer? The Tree Score Analyzer covers all urban areas in the United States, including Hawaii and Alaska. 80% of the population lives in urban areas, which means about over 260 million people can find their score on our website, AmericanForest.org. Tree equity score is about ensuring that all people experience the benefits of trees. Each score indicates whether there are enough trees in an area or a neighborhood for everyone to experience the health, the economic, and climate benefits of trees that trees provide. The score is based on tree canopy. We use GIS technology to assess tree canopies all across the nation. It's based on surface temperature. A lot of you know about that the temperature of our surface on Earth is rising. It's risen about 2 degrees since about 1800s, the late 1800s. And that is increasing at these small increments, but it's increasing more and more every 10 years. The tree score analyzer, we use a 0 to 100 point system. The higher the number, it tells us that trees do not need to be planted in that area. The lower the number, we want to target those areas. We target scores that are 80 or below 80. Talking kind of fast because I was given 10 minutes. So, but you also can find a documentary of the tree score on treeequityscore.org. That's a documentary there. These are some of the cities that we have came to already. We've been in Washington, D.C., Richmond, Virginia, Boston, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. I'm very proud that we brought this particular program to Ruston, Louisiana, where we got involved with Louisiana Tech, Grambling State University, the communities. And as you can see, Washington, D.C., Boston, Massachusetts, and to have Lincoln Parish, Louisiana, among these cities, it speaks volumes for what we're trying to do as it relates to climate change and growing trees in our area. And to be in Natchitoches, Louisiana, again, I want to thank the City Council. I want to thank Ms. Stacy, because a lot of times when we're in these major cities, it's very hard to get to the mayor. And Stacy gave the mayor my number. He called me, and it's been what we've been trying to do. So what we would like to do in the city of Natchez, we want to host a tree planting tree event. We want to increase the tree canopy in a Tesla block area of 80 below, which we have already identified. We want to plant 33 trees with a DBH. DBH, that is at breast height, 4.5 inches. We want that tree to be 2.5 inches in diameter. Again, it's kind of blurry. But this is the area that we have chosen. But I didn't choose this area. The score led us to this area. In this particular area, as you can see, is very, very little tree canopy in this park. And so we want to plant 33 trees in this park. The trees will be of the choice of the council or your beautification committee. We'll give you a tree list, and you just decide which trees you want to plant in this particular park, if it's where you want to plant the trees. But this is where the score led us. As you can see, it's 77. And I'll show you guys, I can come back to your community another day and give you a tutorial on how this program works. But that was the score that we have of that area on the block is 77. So that's telling us we need to plant trees in that particular area. With that score of 77, we looked at it and it said it's 100% people of color in that particular area. Not only the people of color, but 45% are children and seniors. So in the city of Natchez, I think that this program will benefit that area. I've never been over in that area. I've been using just GIS satellites just to look down on it, but that's what it's telling me. I don't know. That's why I'm here, so you guys can help me. And so if there's any information, any additional information you need, you can go to AmericanForest.org. You can go to my website. That's my phone number, and you can give me a call. Any questions?
Yeah, Dr. Street. Let me say, Dr. Street, you got your PhD. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I have a PhD
Okay.
in urban and community forest. This is really a great, great time to be in urban and community forest because, as you know, during the Recovery Act, It was passed, I think, Inflation Recovery Act.
Reduction Act, yeah.
Reduction Act, that's what it was. Well, under that policy and under that bill, urban and community forests received $1.5 billion. American Forest received $50 million of those dollars. We have roughly about $25 to $30 million sitting in the state of Louisiana now to plant trees, maintain these trees. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next 10 years.
Could you speak very briefly about some of the other benefits of planting trees? I know you said maybe reduce the effects of climate change. What are some other benefits, generally speaking?
When we think about trees, we're thinking about the health benefits. We're talking about the ecological value. We're talking about the PMs under 2.5. That's your particular matter. Trees absorb carbon. They love it. So carbon emissions, we plant trees in that area, it's going to provide tree canopy. It reduces heat islands, things of that nature. So the children will have a safer place to play. A lot of people don't know this data exists, but for the police chief over there, trees reduce crime. It
I'm
gives
interested.
you a safer environment, a safer sense of environment. So planting trees have been proven to reduce crime. So that was some of the benefits.
I appreciate that. Okay. Well, look, we thank you for, are you Louisiana-based, sir?
I am a Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm here based in Sylvania, Louisiana. It's kind of tricky. I went to Grambling State University, went to Southern University, earned my PhD, adjunct professor at Louisiana Tech, financial analyst at Grambling State University, used to work at Sussler, so I'm in Louisiana.
Okay. Well, look, Council, you got anything else?
I just want to know, is there a cost? I know you said y'all got money for this, but is there a cost to plant the trees that we will be?
That's all on you all. You all are going to
We're
Just
gonna
cover the
take care of
cost.
the total
All
cost
the
for
total
that
cost
day,
of it.
food, planting the tree. We'll plant 33 trees here in the city of Natchitoches. Our corporate office, warehouse of their corporate office with American Forest, they decided not only to plant the 33 trees here in Natchitoches, but we want to also plant 5 trees at one of your parish high school. I think it's Lakeview High School.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
also be out there because there's no tree
No
canopy
trees,
out there.
yeah. Great,
So it will
great.
cost the city nothing. And we'll maintain these trees for the first 2 years, come out, water them, mulch them, keep them to ensure that the root systems are up and growing, and we'll leave in 2 years.
That's wonderful, okay.
I think I sent Stacy a permission slip, so we're gonna need some permissions form signed, just to send back to Washington DC saying we can plant.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Stray. We really appreciate you coming down with
Appreciate
us today.
you
okay?
guys for allowing me to speak this evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
We'll be talking, we'll be getting back with you, okay? All right. Appreciate that presentation. Next, we've got a couple proclamations. The first one is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 92, a proclamation for Creole Heritage Month. Whereas Creole is a culture originally formed by the people living in Louisiana and nearby areas after European colonization began and before Louisiana became a state, and whose ancestry traces from many different groups, primarily African, French, Native American, and Spanish. And whereas these people and their descendants preserved and passed down Creole culture from generation to generation, even through long periods of discrimination and disenfranchisement, and whereas the Creole Heritage Center at Northwestern State University opened its doors in 1998 because of efforts of Terrell Delphine Jr., Creoles, the St. Augustine Historical Society, and the university as part of a plan to provide a central location for research and documentation of Louisiana Creoles and their culture, and to serve as an accurate information book on Creoles and their culture for the Creole communities of Louisiana, their counterparts nationwide, and all seeking knowledge and appreciation of Creoles and their culture. And whereas Creole people nationwide have supported the Creole Heritage Center at Northwestern State University throughout its 25 years of existence and felt the positive impact of its successes, resulting in an increase in those who openly identify as Creole. And whereas the Louisiana legislature, during its regular session of 2005, designated the month of October annually as Creole Heritage Month in Louisiana to honor and encourage statewide recognition of the Creole heritage and the contributions of Creole people to Louisiana and the nation. Therefore, be it resolved, I, Ronnie Williams Jr., do acknowledge the continued recognition of Creole Heritage Month in Louisiana this October. Be it further resolved, I, Ronnie Williams Jr., do acknowledge the commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the Creole Heritage Center at Northwestern State University this October 2023, and urge all to join in the celebration of this special occasion. Be it further resolved that a suitable copy of this proclamation be transmitted to the Creole Heritage Center at Northwestern State University. And I move to adopt proclamation number 92 of 2023.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. We've got Dr. Kent Peacock here. Would you mind coming to the podium, sir, and just explaining in your own way? I remember being a part of a session with you, and that was some really good information in that session.
Sure.
So state your first and last name, please, sir.
So I'm Dr. Kent Peacock. I'm the director of the Creole Heritage Center and assistant professor of history at Northwestern State University. It is a wonderful honor to accept this proclamation from the city of Natchitoches on behalf of all Creoles who call the city and parish of Natchitoches home, as well as the thousands of other Creoles who live both in our state and throughout the nation, many of whom have ties back to Natchitoches and will be attending the event that's on the screen here from our good friends at St. Augustine Catholic Church downriver this upcoming weekend, their Creole Festival. As you heard, the center at Northwestern State University opened its doors 25 years ago, and it has existed and continued to exist from the beginning leadership of individuals like Carol Delphin, Johnette Colson, and Louise Lawrence, and then Dr. Pete Gregory, Sheila Richmond, and Miss Loletta Winder, as well as numerous staff and NSU students throughout its history. I would also like to mention very briefly the center will have two events this week on Thursday and Friday to recognize Creole Heritage Month as well as our 25th anniversary. We have a ticketed reception on Thursday and then a free and open to the public open house on Friday. That you can find more information about that on our website through NSU. So again, this is a wonderful time to recognize the imprint of Creole culture and Creole peoples themselves, not just in the history of Natchitoches, but as it's still a living and breathing thing here in our community today. And as the city of Natchitoches is really a foundational place for the Louisiana Creole peoples and culture, it is particularly special to receive this recognition of Creole Heritage Month from the city. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for being here, Dr. Peacock. And we've been announcing the Thursday event, so hopefully people have been listening and will attend it. Tell you what, we do want to take a picture with you, put some more publicity out there, please.
Thank you.
But before that, any comments about this proclamation? All right, we got a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Eli? Yes. Nelson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
All right. Councilman Nielsen and I come along.
Y'all coming?
We want to center here? Yeah. One of y'all can come over there with me. Councilman Nielsen. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, our next item is also a proclamation. It's read by Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 095 of 2023, the proclamation declaring the month of October of 2023 as the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas the City of Natchitoches recognized October as the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and whereas the breast cancer is the second most common for disease among women in the United States, and whereas the 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, that's 1 person every 2 minutes in the United States, in USA, correction. And whereas in 2023, an estimate of 300,590 cases, 297,790 women, and 2,800 men of invasive breast cancer, along with the estimate of 55,720 new cases. DCIS will be diagnosed in the USA. And whereas the recognition of the fact that the mammogram is the best available of the method detected the breast cancer, that the cancer long before physical symptoms can be seen and felt, and the breast cancer death could decline further if all women aged 40 and older receive mammograms at a regular interval. And whereas October Living Beyond Breast Cancer sharing some of the ways people thrive in breast cancer and how support today can be help people impact the breast cancer all year long. This year, Breast Cancer Awareness Month theme is Drive 365, and I move to adopt resolution number 095 of 2023.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Thank you, Councilwoman Washington Eli. This is a proclamation that we do every year. Obviously, October has come to be several recognition months. I think they call Hispanic American Month, and even domestic violence, there's a recognition in October. But I think we know certainly breast cancer awareness has been one of those recognitions throughout the month of October. And that proclamation has some facts in it, about how many, particularly women, are affected every year. And I'm sure if it's not an immediate family member, all of us have heard of somebody who has been affected with this disease. So just want to bring awareness to it. I know people will be in their pink at certain points throughout the month. So, getting those mammograms and things like that we certainly want to encourage individuals to do. We don't have anybody here necessarily to take a picture today and receive the proclamation, but we just wanted to certainly continue to recognize October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Council, I don't know if you have any comments or questions. Okay. Did we get a motion in a second? Okay, we good? All right, any comments? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
All
Mayor,
right.
excuse me, I want to ask, is there anyone from the audience who may have been affected, want to receive this information?
Okay, all right, that motion carries. Okay, all righty. Next, we've got three items dealing with planning and zoning. This first one is just for introduction. The next two are up for final tonight. Councilman Nielsen is the first planning and zoning item.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 65 of 2023, and an ordinance amending ordinance number 64 of 2001 by changing zoning classification of property described as follows. Lot 1, Block B of Shamrock Park, less 502.2 square feet to Highway Department, and physical address 302 South Drive, whereas the Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches, State of Louisiana, has recommended at the meeting of October 3rd, 2023, that the application of Vargas Properties, LLC, to rezone the property described above from B3 commercial to B3 commercial with additional BA zoning to operate as a sports bar and grill be approved. And this is for introduction, and a lot of you may remember the old Shamrock Restaurant. Did a little time there, year or two. So, good location, and
Okay, all right. Do we have anybody here from the, yes, sir?
Yes, my name is Rodolfo Vargas. I'm the owner of
I'm sorry, will you say that again, sir?
Yeah, my name is Rodolfo Vargas,
Huh?
and I'm the owner of the property, and that's what I'm trying to pass to get a alcohol license.
Yeah, and Councilman Nielsen, you may have stated it, just got a note, Chantrell is at a code enforcement conference, I believe it is. But the BA permit expired under the former owner, and so they're just applying for the same zoning that existed before it expired. That's what
Yes,
they're
sir.
doing.
yes,
Okay?
it's typically had the BA endorsement for years. So,
Any other comment, question, council, for Mr. Vargas? All right, again, this is just being introduced today, so it'll be up at our next city council meeting on the 23rd. Okay? All right, we do have a few ordinances on for final, the first of which is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 046 of 2023. For final, this ordinance was introduced on August the 14th, 2023, and published in the Natchitoches Times on August 19th, 2023, which is an ordinance authorizing a franchise for the operation of horseless carriage business within the city limits of the city of Natchitoches in favor of both LLC, confirming the terms of the franchise, conditions, and considerations for said franchise, and authorizing the mayor to execute the said franchise agreement on behalf of the city. And I believe this is dealing with Mr. Ron Bolton.
Yeah, Mr.
On
Bolton.
Front Street, right.
So this is going to be correct. It's going to be associated with the venue spot. We did bring it before the Historic District Commission. Their only question that they had is what the sign would look like, and they typically have those signs. I think everybody notices them for your Front Street businesses. Kind of like, I don't know, those floor signs, and so he'll use one like that. Obviously, parking is a premium, but he's got space behind the loft, or the venue loft, that he's going to keep any additional horseless carriages there. Obviously, there's a precedent as well, not horseless, but you have a horse-drawn carriage that's in operation. And so he would tie this to his business some kind of way. I believe he talked to Chief Collins about some public safety aspects, and I think maybe that was worked out pretty much. So I think any concerns that they had in MPD, I think that there's an understanding, and I don't think there are any existing concerns with that, so.
I move for adoption of ordinance number 046 of 2023.
second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Mr. Bolton, he actually came, I think, at the previous meeting, but he has a prior engagement today, so he would have been here if it were not for that, I want to say medical procedure, I want to say, if memory serves me correct. Any comment about this that maybe we can answer? We'll try our best. Or comment or question, I should say. Okey dokey, seeing none. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is ordinance number 49 of 2023, and that's read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 49 of 2023, an ordinance extending the city limits of the city of Natchitoches, annexing a 2.17 acre, more or less, tract situated in Section 40, Township 9 North Range 8 West, Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana, said tract lying adjacent to and north of Louisiana Highway 3278, together with that area of Louisiana Highway 3278 situated between the 2.18 acre tract and the existing municipal limits of the city of Natchitoches, and further providing for the fixing of a public hearing advertisement, fixing council district for same, and fixing zoning classification, and providing for an effective date of the ordinance.
Okay?
And this is for final.
Yeah, it's up for final, and I do think we have individuals who are here to speak on this matter one way or the other. And just to say, and I know everybody's great and appreciates public participation and also is respectful of others' opinions. So I really appreciate that about this group. Steve is going to be our guy who has he's got our time going over here. And so whenever you address the council and the audience at large, as we stated for the rest, please state your first and last name and direct your comments, questions to mayor and city council, okay? All righty. So I guess we could start with Ms. Kathy Davis. You have the owners of the property here? Yes, sir. Mr. Hutchison is coming. And after you state your name, Mr. Hutchison, we'll start the clock.
My name is Don Hutchinson. I'd like to thank y'all very much for us attending and being able to present this to you. Just a second here. We're asking that we be annexed into the city of Natchitoches, of course, and that's the reason why we're here for our property. We think it would be advantageous to us and the city, and the fact that if we are annexed into the city, then we would have the gas, the sewer, the electricity, and so forth. And the city, of course, would have the property taxes associated with that. It benefits, it should benefit both us, my property, and also the city. I'd like to let you know that directly across the street from us, I think most of you are familiar with a piece of property, but I'm not sure, but I'll describe it a little bit. 504 and 3278, right across the street from us is supposed to be the new Ford distributor for this area. Almost directly across the street also is the Chevrolet place, and just to the side of them is the Chrysler place. So we're just asking that we're right here close to everything. Across the street from us is the city. We're asking that we be annexed into the city and be able to receive those benefits, so to speak, and also beneficial to the city. I'm somewhat associated with the city in a way because my son attended the university. He played football here in the 90s, and he stayed here for 3 years and got an education. So I've spent a little time over here at the ball game, so to speak, and had a good time doing it. I enjoy your city. It's a wonderful city, and I appreciate you listening to us and being able to present whatever we can to you as far as the information goes. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchison, for being here today. And certainly want to allow the council an opportunity. You stay within your 3 minutes. Good job. I want to allow the council an opportunity to ask any questions. So, council, any questions today? Comments or questions?
Defer to the public first.
Sir?
Defer to the public for comments. You got pretty good.
Well, I have a question. What are your plans for the property? You said, have you, your plans, did you state a plan? Maybe I didn't hear it.
Respectfully, that's not prevalent, that's not relevant at this time, but we do not have any plans at this time. So I wish I could tell you, but I don't.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson.
Okay.
Okie dokie. See if it's getting the clock ready. Is there a primary speaker for the other side of the matter against annexation here tonight? Okay. And you know how it goes, sir. You've been to these.
Good evening. My name's Kevin Hammond. I represent the Poe family. They live in the property that is directly adjacent to the property in question, not across the street, not near it. They live right next door to it. And so do a whole bunch of other people who own homes and have owned homes for a long time. I'm here today to ask you to either deny the vote or at least defer it. The city is a defendant in a lawsuit that I've already filed, raising issues associated with that property, the Hutchinson's ownership of the property, the earlier attempts to change the zoning of the property. If you all will defer or deny the action today, we're happy to dismiss the city from the lawsuit. If you don't, then we're going to have to ask you to file your answer and participate in it. And you don't need to. You can just not take action on this and avoid being involved in a lawsuit. If you do take action, then we have to, proceed with the lawsuit. There are issues with the way you're proceeding because the right-of-way that you're attaching to the Hutchinson property, which I understand you're including that so that you satisfy the contiguous nature obligations set forth in the statutes. But there are special provisions about how you have to go about that the city hasn't complied with. And so it will be very easy to undo the annexation of the thing. And so rather than waste everybody's time and energy and that sort of stuff, we're just asking you hold up on this. Thank you. And I'm happy to answer any questions if the council has any.
Council, you got any questions? Is he the only one speaking for the first people against it?
I just represent the Poes. I'm sure. My understanding is that there are other people here.
Okay,
that
gotcha.
are opposed.
Council, you got any questions?
Not at this time.
Not at this time?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You did good. You stayed within your time. Okay. No, you stayed within your 3 minutes. Any other comment on this matter?
Did anyone else wish to speak?
Okay, come on.
I'm Diane Poe, and my husband is Alan. My family has lived on our land for 4 generations for 65 years. We own 2 homes on 2 acres. Tonight, Hutchinson Dupree want to annex their parish residential property into the city limits. We can assume they will follow annexation with rezoning to business, since 3 times in the past few months, they have attempted rezoning to B3 through the parish. The Hutchinson Dupree property is on residential area on old abandoned Highway 6. It is surrounded by 16 residences. I am not the only one to be affected by this decision tonight. Ordinance 49 needs to be tabled with questions to get answered and concerns to be addressed by my 2 attorneys. The neighbors on Highway 3278 strongly oppose commercialization. We're united and stand together and speak up. I went to over 50 homes and not one wants a business by their home. Concerns include property value, security, and peace and quiet. Our neighborhood is shocked that we were not even given a written notice of this meeting or any other meeting that directly affects our quality of life. We are told to read the newspaper. Our neighborhood, the campaign, Natchitoches Next, a 10-year plan, kicks off tomorrow. One goal is to reverse population decline. The people on 3278 and 504 that I talked to do not want to be incorporated into the city limits. We made our choice to live in the parish. No one deserves this type of worry. Our city and nation are facing perilous times and a bad economy. Some say, move further out, but I reply, not everyone can. Each home on 3278 has its own story to tell. Some are elderly, some face serious health challenges, some are caring for terminally ill relatives, some are raising grandchildren, some recently lost a spouse and face financial challenges. They just want to be left alone to live their lives in their homes on their property. They inspired me to continue fighting. Tonight's decision will set a precedent. This is not simply about annexing a 2-acre lot into the city limits. Can one person profit at the expense of others? My home is 120 feet and adjacent to a business. This is a real question you'll have to answer tonight. Can a person profit at the expense of others?
Ms. Poe, if you don't mind, real quick. You stated some other reasons. I wanted just for my notes as to why you kind of had a litany of reasons why you said a business shouldn't go there. Can you kind of say those again, just for my notes?
Property values, if a business or I'm giving you what I've heard, a bar comes next to me, my property value's shot. Number 2, security. That's horrible. I don't care what kind of business goes by a home with 3 kids in college at Northwestern, that's not safe, a business by home. And number 3, I put peace and quiet, because could we sleep at night? What time does the bar shut down? We don't have any assurance what will go there, but we do have assurance that we may not have peace and quiet anymore. In a home that we've been in, my parents built their home in 1972. My grandparents have been there were there since the 50s. I'll tell you one thing, sometimes men mean things for evil, but God turns them for good. One thing that I did do, when I was going to these 50 homes, so many people said, what in the world are they doing on Brother Roberts' property? That was my grandpa. I'm so proud of my grandpa. And 50 years after he's dead, people still remember my grandpa. He was a pastor.
Are those your, that
I'm
was
on
your
that
list?
land.
What I'm saying, the 3, that was your 3. I got peace, property values, and security,
I
I
could give
think.
you 1,000 no's.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I got a couple of them.
Erosion is another big one.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Now, I think, Mr. Hutchison, that was the reason for the Councilwoman at Large's question to, kind of see what your plans were going to be, Eddie, but I did note your response. I would say, and I know, Councilman Nielsen, we don't like to table it, but I would like to maybe say move to a later date for different reason than Ms. Poe mentioned, and even than her attorney. We don't have 2 council folks here today.
Mayor, I'm going to make a motion that we table this next meeting.
I second.
Yeah, and that way we'll have, at least have our other 2 councilmen here. Yes, sir? Can you? And I think in 2 weeks, we'll bring it off the table and have a full council.
I would just like to point out that there are laws that the state has, the federal government, everything. There are laws that protect Mrs. Poe. There are laws that protect me. And so the laws are there. And so I would hope that we could not have this negative discussion, but, and for instance, just a point, I went to Vietnam, okay? I fought for my rights. I fought for every one of you on your rights. And I think it's just, if you do not approve us, it's I feel like that it's somewhat of not fair to me. I mean, I know that Ms. Poe thinks it's not fair to her. It's not fair to me either. But the laws do protect Ms. Poe, and the laws protect me. I have no intention of putting a bar around Ms. Poe. I would even sign a piece of paper saying that, even what. I wouldn't mind doing that. I understand her rights, I really do, and I understand what she's saying. But you can't take my rights away for me asking to be within the city because of what she's saying, because she has rights to the law. If I'm not going to break the law, and she's not going to break the law. So,
Yep.
anyway.
And I'll just say this, Mr. Hutchinson, thank you for your service to our country, and it is much appreciated. Since you have the microphone, I do want to ask this question. Prior to you getting here, I heard Ms. Poe say it's gone before the parish council. We had it on the agenda once before earlier in the year. Then there was some not issue, but some interpretation that came up. But we're just curious, have you and Ms. Poe, or your representatives and Ms. Poe, talked directly to one another before about?
No, we haven't. We haven't talked about that because.
And again, I understand it's your property.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
But, just.
I understand, and that's perfectly okay for you to ask that, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
We have not had any discussions because it's been a real high hill to climb. We tabled our suggestion with the parish, or trying to work with the parish. We got threatened with a lawsuit, as you are being threatened here today, and so I would just like to say that, of course, she has legal representation here, but we're not going to have, our last alternative is also going to be a lawsuit.
Yep, noted.
We can't avoid that. And so, and I hate it that we're tabling this, and I
Well,
realize.
let me just say this, I don't mean to cut you off, but again, I think just for the fact, and the attorney who spoke, different reasons, but I think come to the same conclusion. Just, our council, they just had other engagements, already prior things that they were doing, and it happened to fall on this particular week. So I think we bring it back when they come back on the 23rd. I think everybody's going to be here.
I will not be here.
Okay, on the 23rd.
I
So
think-
I really like to get it on the day we have everybody
I think
here.
we're going to be right back where we are right now.
Why was it tabled? I think you said parish council tabled it, and what was their reasoning for doing that?
Well, they were threatened with a lawsuit, and then we tabled it because we had heard that we were not going to be approved because Ms. Poe had, she had not approved us, and therefore then, and there was a number of people in the area there that did not want to give us approval, and we knew it. So we're just trying, all we're doing is trying to have our property in the city limits. We realize, I think, that if I'm not mistaken, by some of you, that we've talked about this before, one time before. We have to wait, from what I understand, 2 years before we can be rezoned.
Mhm.
We're willing to do that. We're willing to do that. And sooner or later, it's just me talking, Ms. Poe's gonna be right up here a few
Yeah.
years from now, doing the same thing as
So I
I'm
hear
doing,
what you're saying,
really.
annexation is
Because
not-
because the city is moving, things are moving, it's
Yep.
not standing still. So, I don't know, we'll try and, make it work any kind of way, but, to be honest with you, we don't feel like it's right. And we feel like it's, today, this is somewhat blackmail.
Yeah.
It really is. Think about it. They're saying they're gonna sue you and everybody. They've threatened to sue DOTD
Yeah.
on the property. They threatened to sue the parish, and they threatened to sue us. So,
No, I got you, I
it's a
understand.
very difficult situation here. It
Understand.
really is, and it's difficult for you. It shouldn't be this difficult for you.
Well, Councilwoman at
Ron,
Large has
Ron, if I can
informed us.
add,
Yeah.
I mean, cities, municipalities are sued every day. And so our job here is, like you said before, to protect everybody's rights. You have rights, she has rights, and what we're gonna do, the mayor is simply asking, can we return to have a quorum? I mean, majority of the council members present to vote on it. So don't take it as we choosing one side or the other. We just wanna table it, come back. The attorney did mention a right-of-way issue that I learned about 5 minutes before the meeting. I find out whether or not that applies in the situation. So we're not concerned about being sued. We're concerned about protecting the citizens on both sides.
And I haven't really seen the area where you're talking about, but I would like to ask you, when you come back, maybe have a plan of what you want to do in that particular area, so we all can be aware of it also. I mean,
We
some
would love,
kind of plan.
we would love to be honest with you, I would love to give you a plan. I really would. But I can't give you a plan if I don't have it right now.
Okay.
Now, and we're just trying to move forward and have
Gotcha.
our rights. I talked to a few people, I've never heard anybody, being turned down by the city.
Yep.
And I've talked to DOTD, I've talked to them about everything, I've talked to a number of other people, and we just like to resolve it some kind of way, but I would do anything to resolve this with Ms. Pope.
Yep.
Whatever we can do. Look.
Yeah, first gotta talk to each other.
If she wants to buy our property, that's fine, we'll entertain that.
Well,
But,
well, thank you so much.
We're just trying to
No,
move
I got you.
forward.
I
We've
got
had
you.
the property for a while, and we just keep running into obstacles every
Mm-hmm.
time. It's very frustrating on our part.
And for
So-
administration
I can understand.
and the council, for his request to having a property annexed in, he can have it annexed without a plan being released.
Yeah, because zoning is not even something that can be considered right now anyway,
Whether or
so.
not he's within his rights to
Yes, sir,
request
yes, sir.
annexation.
Yes, sir,
The
I
way the
agree.
property is situated, and she has right to say, I don't want it, and that's what the public is saying, I don't want it, and he's saying, I
I
want it.
want it,
And
right.
y'all just have to
Make a
that
decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
this has been a long road.
It has been a
And-
long road, and it's a shame to have to go through all that.
No,
Well,
you're right.
but it is kind of what it is, and when it was uncovered that it gets annexed in with the zoning that the property is at the current time.
Yeah.
And then there's a 2-year wait. What I didn't realize back then is that it is, the zoning on the property is RMH-1,
Yes, sir.
which is residential mobile home. I'm not excited about bringing something into the city that is, a lot can fall apart in 2 years, and I don't want to take that chance of bringing a piece of property in, and it's zoned RMH1, and then we're left with mobile homes. You know, it's difficult, and I didn't realize that when all that other discussion was going on, but I do feel the 2 whatever acres lends itself to light commercial. I don't know about B3, but B1, B2, possibly. I personally live behind Verizon. Their backyard is my side yard, and, you know, we can coexist. There's a reason that there's a 60-foot buffer between commercial and residential, and that's to protect people like Ms. Poe and all that, but I just wanted to make those comments.
Yes,
No,
sir, I
appreciate it,
appreciate
Councilman.
that. We would love to have a different zoning. That's what we're really.
Right.
That's what we really want. We don't want the zone we have right now.
Well,
But-
and I say this, Mr. Hutchinson, because we have other items on the agenda, I do want to note that it seems that the issue, I guess, the opposing folks, the issue is not so much the annexation, but the zoning that comes after that. So that's what it seems like. So
If I could mention one more thing.
very quickly.
Beside us, just beside us, there's the campground there. That's B1. Beside them, there are businesses all up and down 3278. If you're familiar with this, I
Yep.
did my homework on that. I looked at all of the businesses.
Yes, sir.
Up, down 3278. They're either businesses or they are they're operating as a business with residential.
And I know we got into some questions, but we are well beyond 3 minutes. So I do see a couple other hands real quick, but thank you, Mr. Hutchinson, for coming to.
Thank y'all very
state your-
much for listening
state
to
your
us.
piece,
I
okay?
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right. I
Someone
see
else had their
Senator,
hand up back
well, I
there.
see Senator Bernard, and it looks like I saw Mr. Melder. Is that Melder? Yeah, whichever one y'all want to.
Mr. Bernard.
Steve's going to start you from this, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Louis Bernard. I live at 4844 Highway 3278. I don't know about all the legalities. What I want to do is just appeal to each and every person sitting at that dais and all the staff over here and the people sitting in the audience. When you come home from a hard day and you've tried to make a living and raise kids and chase grandchildren and all of that, there should be a place where you can go and enjoy and relax and replenish. And out there are a lot of homes that serve that purpose for people. And all of the commercialization that's happened out there, everybody knew and expected that would happen. There weren't any residences along in that area when they did what they've done out there, even the dealerships we're talking out here. But when you come across that highway, now you're into the middle of a residential area that's been there for, as Ms. Poe says, for 80 years. I wish each one of you would take the time to go out and stand in her front yard and see where this location is. I certainly respect Mr. Hutchinson, but I disagree with him when he says that it's not relevant, what he does with the property. It's relevant to us. It's relevant to the people that live there. And there's no guarantee that Mr. Hutchinson will sell that to somebody who won't turn around and sell it. He's lost control when he sells it to somebody. He's not going to put in the buy-sell agreement that they can never sell it for any other purpose. So I appreciate the fact that he said he's a veteran. There is no higher group in our society than veterans. But the Vietnam War came home to all of us when the person who has property adjacent to this, David Hayward, a classmate, was the first one that we knew to get killed in Vietnam. So he's the one that brought that war and service to your country home to all of us. We just ask that we say there's nothing wrong with developing city. I understand the motive for doing that, but not at the expense of people whose homes are there and who have been there for over 75 or 80 years. So, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate an opportunity to talk briefly with you and the council tonight. I appreciate the motion to table, and we will be back for a discussion at a later date. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator, for being here. All right, let me allow, I think, Mr. Melder, you had something to say, I believe? Is it Melder, sir? Gidry, okay.
Close.
Okay.
My name's Ken Gidry. I live around the corner on Highway 504. And I'd just like for everybody who's opposed to this annexation proposal to stand up. There's a lot of folks that really care about it. So I appreciate the opportunity. I just wanted to point out that there are all homes, residences that have been out there a long time. Thank you very much.
Point taken. Thank you for coming, sir. Is that the legendary coach over there? Is that the legendary coach?
Yes, it is.
All right. I see we have one more hand. We'd like to move on because I think we got a motion to table, but we do say we want to honor this individual here, and we'll proceed with the motion that's on.
My name is Floyd W. Melder. I live on 3278, and I'm totally against this. I wasn't going to say anything, but somebody brought up Vietnam. I'm an 80% disabled Vietnam vet. There's a Vietnam vet on the other side, too. That's all I got to say.
Thank you for your service, sir. We really appreciate it. Okay? We've got a motion on. You got to be very quick because we kind of gave you the floor for.
We would accept an R1. We would accept an R1.
And I just stated for the record, he said they would accept an R1. They would accept an R1 as his comment. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All righty. Councilwoman Washington, Eli stepped away, but I think we can still move forward with the motion. Can we do that?
We can.
Oh, we need her?
We need a roll call vote, yeah.
Yeah.
She needs to be here.
Okay. All right, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote? Do we?
We have to wait.
Oh, we need to wait on her?
Yes.
Okay, because that would be just two, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, you can take.
But, I mean, since we have three here, two would be a majority of three. Would that still work? No?
We have to wait, we have to wait.
Okay. Where is she?
Wish she went to the restroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting, today was a holiday for a lot of people. School was closed today. Didn't have to work. That was good.
Send somebody.
I'll go get her. Here she comes.
Where is she?
All right. We have found the councilwoman from District 4. Okay. All right, Mr. Stacy, we've had much discussion. The motion was made to table, it was seconded. Roll call vote.
Eli?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Smith? Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, and we'll think about the next time to bring it up. All right, the next item is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 061 of 2023. This ordinance was introduced on September 25th, 2023, and published in the Natchitoches Times on September 30, 2023, and this is for final.
Okay.
This is an ordinance to designate funds from the American Rescue Plan for use by the city of Natchitoches to provide funding for the cost of juvenile housing, authorizing the execution of any and all documents, contracts, and/or agreements, and otherwise providing respect thereto. Again, this ordinance was introduced.
Louis, will you shut those doors? As we still got a meeting going. Okay, sorry about that, Councilwoman at large.
Okay, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 appropriated $75,000 to the state of Louisiana, which was then appropriated to the city, the ARPA revenue replacement funding, for the purpose of providing funding for government services that may have seen a shortfall of revenue funding them due to the COVID-19 pandemic, including but not limited to funding projects up to the amount of the city's revenue loss for the juvenile housing. And I move for adoption of ordinance number 061 of 2023.
A second.
Motion made and seconded, Council. I think we spoke about this when we first introduced it. The housing, juvenile housing costs those folks under 18 years of age who commit a crime in the city of Natchitoches. Some revised statute says that if there's no facility in the parish and they have to be housed outside of the parish, then the municipality is responsible for. So this is kind of what we're dealing with here. I think there's other areas from the MPD budget where they're going to match this, but I could tell you we'll be coming back to you for some type of other amendment because these are some very high costs. And as I commended MPD before, commend them again for trying in this wild world of, I mean, there's really not much you can do if where says it's this, what you're going to do, really. You know, you don't have another facility, you don't have another option. So you really got to pay the cost, because I know our residents don't want us to say, well, just let them on out because we can't pay it. So this is our for now, while we still have some ARPA and we still have, I think I got that number earlier. If all of this goes through, we'll be looking at 430,000 of ARPA remaining.
Wow.
All right, 430,000 of ARPA remaining. So anyhow, comments, questions, council? Anything from the council first?
No, I'm just.
This is
again,
bad spot.
Again, I'm just hoping, praying we can find a facility, because this is a lot of money. I think we discussed it at the last meeting. I just want to reiterate that. Like you said, there's nothing we can do, Mayor.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mentioned that they're looking for facilities that, you know, it doesn't cost $300 a day. But Councilman Nelson, you had something before we allow her?
Well, this is one of those things that popped up, and it's our obligation to fulfill it. It's a shame. Certainly a lot of money, but so important.
And we did verify whether it really was. So we didn't take the word from the parish government for it. We did our due diligence. So. Yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Precious Barber. My first question is, how much money is in the American Rescue Plan as of now, as of today?
Oh, I actually just mentioned that. If all of these, and I say all of these, there's a few on the agenda now. If they pass, 430,000.
So that's what'll be left?
Yeah, that's what's, if all of these pass on the agenda. You've got one for a sinkhole, one for juvenile housing, and I think that's it. Just those two, right? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
It's dwindling.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. All right. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Ordinance number 62 of 2023-2024 budget amendment, an ordinance amending the 2023-2024 budget to reflect additional revenues and expenditures. And I'll turn that over to Ms. Clarissa.
Okay, so this was the budget amendment that we discussed last time that was a result of the additional interest income that was discovered through a account analysis done by Sabine State Bank. It was definitely favorable to the city of $1.1 million. So what we wanted to do, we did have a need for a capital project for utilities. What is it called, the 1 million gallon tank?
Million-gallon ground storage.
Okay, that's the name of it. So we did have an immediate need there. Matt did go into his budget to find some money, but there was a shortfall, so we were able to allocate $250,000 to that particular project, and the rest of it we wanted to put into our reserve account. So that's one of our objectives going forward in the next few years, to increase our reserve account. So we wanted to take this opportunity to beef that up a little bit. So we'll be placing $942,000 into that account. So this is just to approve that allocation of those additional revenues that were not budgeted.
Okay. I think we've talked about this, Council, but if there are any additional comments or questions.
Well, I don't have that on my computer, and I didn't have it on my agenda.
Yeah,
061, ordinance?
it won't open.
60, yeah, I know.
No, I'm sorry, 62.
62, I don't
62.
have it.
It's an Excel file. It may not open for some
Yeah, it
reason.
won't.
Do y'all need a copy? I have a copy here.
Yeah, I would like to have.
But it's that 1.1 million that we got, we mentioned in earned interest from Sabine. They did a calculation on it.
And this is for final.
Yes, sir.
So I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 62.
I second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. Any additional comment? Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Okay, next item is another ARPA, American Rescue Plan. It's something that we didn't know the budget for because it wasn't an issue, I think, at the time the budget was voted on. It became an issue later on, and this is a Washington Street sinkhole. We do have a dollar amount in there, but we're hoping that it's less than what we have there. We just kind of needed a starting point. So, and we did all of the, is it really the city's responsibility? We asked those questions, and the title work, I guess it's called title work, huh, Alex? The work was done by Tommy, and it shows city responsibility, so. But anyway, 834 Washington, it sits in between the sinkhole. And I told Nick, he's got his grandson baseball, but he said it's gotten worse since the last time he went. I don't remember the last time he went, so. But basically, we need to make sure we go ahead and address it. But, the Dickens property and the Butler property, is it my guy named Butler? Yeah, the Butler property. Kind of sits almost directly in between those two properties. Right, comments, questions, council?
No, sir, I moved to, you already read it, Mayor, thank you.
Those are very scary situations. I know Royal Street, we had to go back 3 times before we finally got it under control. So those sinkholes you can chase it around.
Yep.
And Mother Nature can't fool Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I greatly appreciate that. So I'll move to adopt ordinance number 63 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All right. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries. All right, next we've got an ordinance for introduction, and it's read by Councilwoman Eloy Smith.
This is ordinance number 64 of 2023, which is an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Louisiana, to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the state of Louisiana Department of Treasury for the line item appropriation for rehabilitation of the existing finished water storage tank clear well at the water treatment plant. Whereas the City of Natchitoches, under Home Rule Charter and Code of Ordinance, adopted the ordinance number 5 of 1977. And whereas the regular legislative session of the Louisiana Legislature, which was adopted in accordance with Article 7, Section 10 of the Constitution, is appropriation for the expenditure of state funds, and said Act 397 contains a line item appropriation within the agency budget for the benefit of the city of Louisiana, which a sum of $300,000 has been allocated for the program project as set forth in the amendment in the attachment A plan. Whereas further, the public purpose is described as rehabilitation of 1 million gallon finished water storage tank at the water treatment plant to address physical and operational deficiencies due to age and deterioration, and allow compliance within the Louisiana State Sanitary Code. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council that the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Ronnie Williams Jr., is hereby authorized to execute the attached cooperative endeavor agreement with the state of Louisiana through the Department of the Treasury, for which a sum of $300,000 is allocated for the rehabilitation of existing finished water storage tank. And this is for final, I believe.
Introduction.
So introduction only, sorry.
Okay. So fortunately, some of the items we were able to address during the capital outlay, I say capital outlay, not always necessarily capital outlay, this one wasn't, but the latest legislative session is how I say that. We did the 1.8 for a fire station. We were able to get that. That was a big deal for us. We got the $200,000 to do street improvements on 2 Line and 2nd, as we're getting ready for the temporary bridge. Hopefully it comes soon. We were able to go ahead and get the money for the roundabout, which had been a request of ours, but we were successful this year. Although I haven't seen that CEA just yet, Randy. I guess it's coming. I don't know. The roundabout one, just me kind of thinking out my head.
Well, we had $435,000 priority 5, and it all moved to cash in this current fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave us the entire amount of $585,000.
Okay. Yeah. So this paperwork is really, something that $300,000 for water and sewer, and I think Matt. No, this is you want to use this on your finished storage tank. Is that right?
That's correct, on that million gallon ground storage tank.
Okay, so the same project we referenced earlier.
Correct.
So we have some money that we're using out of our fund. We're using a little ARPA as well. I mean, I'm sorry, we're using.
We're going to use some budgeted money. that we
Right.
have. We're going to use this money and the money she was just talking about.
And the money she was just talking about, that's right. So the $300,000 came in, really good time for her, so it's gonna help and be a kind of a budget saver for us, or save us some money, but also help to get a project funded that we need. So again, it's just for introduction, but it's one of those wins that we got from, the legislative session, most recent legislative session, so. Comments or questions? All righty, again, it'll be up for vote at our next meeting. All right, now we just have 3 resolutions, all right? And the first one is read by Councilwoman Elora Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is resolution number 093 of 2023, a resolution approving the sublease of Lot 4 in the Natchitoches Regional Airport from Mark Milliken to Air Data Solutions LLC, including an authorization of the mayor to execute an instrument approving the sublease. Whereas the lease is for a 10-year period and the lease premises is described thereon as follows: a certain square. Whereas the city of Natchitoches previously entered into a lease with Mark Milliken for a lease of Lot 4 at the Natchitoches Regional Airport, which said lease is effective as of November 27, 2020, and which lease was approved by ordinance number 50, 2020, and passed on October 26, 2020. And whereas this lease is for a 10-year period and the lease premise is described as a certain square parcel of land located at the Natchitoches Regional Airport measuring 147.6 feet by 147.6 feet and contains 21,785.76 square feet more or less, and is more particularly described as shown in Lot 4 on the airport layout plan. Whereas further, Mark Milliken has negotiated a sublease to Air Data Solutions and has requested that the City of Natchitoches approve the sublease. Whereas the Airport Advisory Commission has approved the sublease to Data Solutions, now therefore be resolved that Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. be and is hereby authorized to execute the said sublease on behalf of the city, indicated the approval of the sublease if he is so requested to do so. And I move for adoption of resolution number, what's that, 093 of 2023.
Second.
And sometimes I know it becomes wordy with some of the way the resolutions and things are written. That language has to be included, but just simply, this resolution is about approving, as what was read, Mr. Milligan to sublease the hangar to Air Data Solutions. All right, airport rules are gonna still apply, all that still applies, but just to sublease it to them. Okay? Any comment, questions about this? Okay, seeing none. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next is a resolution read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 94 of 2023 is a resolution approving a permanent utility easement and right-of-way for placement of water booster station with associated temporary construction easement across property of Amy Stroud Abels and Jeremy Wayne Abels. Said temporary easement depicted on that August 30th, 2023 survey, releasing and terminating that right of way dated April 2nd, 1986, recorded in Conveyance Book 415, page 805, and authorizing the mayor execute the utility easement and right-of-way and termination of right-of-way on behalf of the City of Natchitoches, Louisiana. Whereas the City of Natchitoches currently has a right-of-way for a water booster station on the property of Amy Stroud Abels and Jeremy Wayne Abels, as established April 2nd, 1986, and recorded in the Conveyance Book 415, page 805, and whereas the city desires to relocate the water booster station to the east of its current location. Whereas the city has negotiated a 20-foot by 20-foot easement for the location of the water booster station, said site situated on the southwestern corner of property owned by Abels and on the northern right-of-way of White Oak Lane, and said easement situated in Section 10, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, and being more fully shown on the attached survey by Brandon C. Thornton, whereas the city has further negotiated a temporary work easement area to the east, north, and west of the permanent easement, and is more fully shown on the attached survey by Brandon C. Thornton, and whereas in order to facilitate the placement of the water booster station and desiring the resulting improvement in water service to the area, Abels has agreed to grant the permanent easement and temporary work easement area to the city of Natchitoches. And the city has agreed to release the old right-of-way recorded in the conveyance book, as the right-of-way will no longer be needed. And whereas further, an easement and right-of-way has been negotiated and drafted, and a copy is attached. Whereas the City Council of the City of Natchitoches is of the opinion that it is in the best interest of the City of Natchitoches to enter into the right-of-way for permanent and temporary easements, and the council desires to have the right-of-way for permanent and temporary easements executed on behalf of the city. And I move that we adopt resolution number 94 of 2023.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. This is connected to our White Oak Lane booster station. All right, so it's an easement to allow us to be able to maintain it over time, Matt, or?
Well, actually, we're gonna replace it.
Okay.
The existing booster station is on the part we're gonna release right next to it. We're gonna build a new booster station. Once it's online, we're gonna dismantle the old booster station and release that right away back to the owners.
Okay. Okay. Comments or questions? All right. Seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Last item on the agenda is resolution number 096 of 2023, and Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 096 of 2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a certification of substantial completion to the contract between the City of Natchitoches and the DSW Construction for the building my teeth got stuck, renovation of the Texas Pacific Railroad Depot. And whereas the work was completed and for they be resolved that the City of Natchitoches in legal session convened that the Honorable Mayor Ronnie Williams be hereby authorized and power directing in the subtown the completion of the DSW contract. And I move to adopt resolution number 096 of 2023.
Second.
This is pretty regular whenever a project is complete, and even though it's not every single thing is done, it's substantially complete, it's mostly done, and I think they're still going through the punch list items, or will go through soon. Any other comment there, Randy?
I'll just say, Mayor, that on a contract this size, you have 5% retainage, so there's somewhere in the range of 45 to 48,000 on the table. He can't draw down until everything's complete, so you usually don't have to worry about someone finishing the punch list because he wants to get paid.
Wants to get the rest of the money.
That's a
And
good
they've
way to
done a
put it.
great job so far. It's really great.
Came out nice.
That's all.
Yep. Any comment on this item? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we're on our markers, pretty cool. I was down at, Dookie Chase over the weekend, and they got a marker there too. And so we have one here, so that's pretty cool. And we always encourage people to download the Go Natchitoches app. Their events are being uploaded all the time. We like the app, but it's good that we're not having to use the Natchitoches Regroup, because that means you're not being disturbed with a lot of hurricanes and things like that. So, but those two apps we're going to continue to push them out there. All right, Natchitoches next meetings start on tomorrow, 5:30 to 7 o'clock at the Natchitoches Event Center. And then on Tuesday, there are two opportunities for the public to get there. We've been trying to really blast it on our social media. And that's going to be 11:30 to 1 on Wednesday, and also 5:30 to 7 p.m., all at the same location, the Natchitoches Event Center. Again, these are ways in which we want to think about our growth, okay? All right, I think there may be something else. We've been announcing this. I want to say, is that Soiree? Soiree, how y'all say that? Help me with it. I didn't.
So away.
That's how we say
Sorry.
it. I just wanted to know how to do it. But celebrating 25 years, Dr. Peacock was here earlier when he received the proclamation. So he talked about the ticketed event. This is what he was referring to, and it's going to be Thursday at beginning at 5 p.m. And they've got the toast at 6 p.m. And they're going to be at the Orville J. Hanchy Gallery, and that's right across from the A. Fredericks building. Okay, the glass building is what that one is. All right, so this was supposed to be last week, but I think, Chief Wynn, we got some weather or something was coming?
So it's moved to this Thursday.
Okay, so yeah, the annual fire prevention open house is gonna be this Thursday. It's gonna be at the training center, which is, on the grounds technically of the Bossier Parish Community College, right next to Natchitoches Central. So, always a fun event, always great. Fire department does an awesome job, with that. So it's adding something to do and, have demonstrations and food and all of that good stuff, okay? All righty.
I think
So,
lots of activities for the kids, right?
Yes, ma'am.
face painting and
they burn
balloons,
stuff.
yeah.
We'll show you not how to cook a turkey and not how to put out a grease fire.
Okay.
Not how to cook a turkey?
That's right.
Okay.
And not how to put out a grease
Fried
fire.
turkey.
Yeah, okay, all righty. And the Creole Festival is coming up on the 13th through the 15th. That is where? I can't really read it so much. Where is that, Stacy? That's St. Augustine Cane River, okay. So that's out,
Cane River.
yeah, the St. Augustine area. Sometimes they go to they used to go to the Melrose Plantation on one of those events. They have little booths and everything set up. They have food and all that. You can buy crafts and stuff like that. Okay, so that's happening 13th through the 15th, which is, that's this week. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? I think we got just a couple more. Run for Bird is coming up this Saturday. There's a run, actually, and then they've got some other events happening, but from 7 to 1. The walk run, yeah, they've got a gala that night as well. So it's scholarship for students in this community. Of course, Bert was he grew up here, he's an Natchitoches native. Many people know him. He's got an identical twin, Kurt. I think class of 88, or what is he, 89, Alex? Bert and Kurt?
89.
89, okay, class of 89. So, so in his honor, his siblings and people who knew him, close friends, established this, and so it's really good. You get a lot of folks who are from Natchitoches, grew up in Natchitoches, coming back. So, want to encourage participation in the Run for Birth this weekend. All right, and we've got, this is the Natchitoches Farmers Market. If you look at the Main Street page, I'm sure it's on the Farmers Market page as well, but they've got their different themes for the Farmers Market. Looks to be, it's not as much as the spring, getting into summer one, but looks to be about maybe 6 or 7 markets, something like that. So it goes from the 14th, which is this Saturday, all the way down through the, I think that's the 18th, right? Yeah, 18 looks like. So again, getting ready for the fall market. So make sure you attend that, starting this Saturday, 8 a.m., Natchitoches Riverbank. Have anything else, Steve? Which way to Main Street? All right, the 28th, that's from 10 to noon, downtown Natchitoches. So last year, I think it was in the event center because of weather, perhaps. Something was going on down there. But it's going to be on the riverbank this year where it typically is. So the 28th, and, you know, also, that happens to be my birthday, so, all right. But the 28th is when that's going to be, okay? All right, I think that might be it, right, Steve? I do want to say one more, and it's going to be, we're having an open streets event on the 22nd. 22nd, so we'll get a flyer out
5 to 6:30.
this week. Yeah, okay, 5 to 6:30 is when that's happening.
Ross Williams Park.
Ross Williams Park. It's going to be Dean Street is what it is, from Dixie to the park, and, you know, just have different activities, hula hoop, you do the thing you go under, I forgot what it's called, but whatever. You got the smoothie bike, all that. So again, a lot of great things going on. Okay, it's far spent, hour is far spent. So at this time, we have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Have a
And I
good
want
night,
to wish my
everybody.
daughter, Tanjika Sawyer, happy birthday. Today's her birthday, October the 9th. Happy birthday, daughter.